President Donald Trump's crime crackdown in Washington, D.C. is making headlines once again, and new data suggests the policy had a dramatic impact. After Trump federalized the D.C. Police Department, brought in the National Guard, and unleashed federal law enforcement agencies, the nation's capital saw an extraordinary 13 days without a single homicide. Experts point out that this outcome overwhelmingly benefited Black Americans, who historically make up the vast majority of homicide victims in the city. John Lott, founder of the Crime Prevention Research Center, explained that the chances of going nearly 2 weeks without a murder in D.C. were less than 1%, making the streak highly unusual. Between 2019 and 2021, data shows that nearly 96% of homicide victims in Washington were Black. That means the lives saved during this period were disproportionately within that community. Critics of Trump's approach argue that deploying military and federal resources into cities is politically motivated. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker have both labeled Trump's strategies as dangerous and even racist, saying that mass incarceration has failed to stop violence in America. Johnson insisted that the solution lies in addressing root causes of crime rather than relying on prisons. Supporters counter that the results in D.C. speak for themselves. In addition to the August streak, the city also had a 16-day homicide-free run earlier in the year, though experts stress that summer months usually see more crime than winter. Trump's federalization move, taken under Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act, allowed him to assume emergency control of the city's police force for 30 days. Since the August operation began, authorities have made over 1,900 arrests. Offenders included individuals carrying illegal firearms or drugs, people with outstanding warrants, and even undocumented immigrants engaged in crime. Beyond direct crime prevention, experts argue that reducing violence could help local businesses, which have been closing down or locking products behind plexiglass due to theft and security concerns. Those closures not only hurt jobs, but also raise costs for D.C.'s poorest residents. The broader debate is now focused on whether Trump should expand this strategy to other cities like Chicago or Memphis. While Memphis has a higher homicide rate, Chicago has a much larger number of total murders, which means more lives could potentially be saved there. For Trump, this issue ties directly into his campaign message, restoring law and order across the nation. With rising violent crime since 2020's unrest, his supporters believe these bold measures show proof of concept. His opponents, however, see it as a political stunt and a dangerous precedent for federal control over local police. One thing is certain, Washington's 13-day streak without a single homicide is statistically rare and raises serious questions about how best to fight crime in America's toughest cities. If you want to stay updated with in-depth analysis on major political and social issues, don't forget to subscribe to InsightPulse and hit the bell icon for notifications. Your support helps us keep bringing you clear, fact-driven updates.